My girlfriend cheated on me with her ex at our engagement party. So I've been dating this girl, let's call her Jenna, for about 3 years. Things were going great, or at least I thought they were. We've had our issues like any couple, but I was head over heels for this girl. A couple of weeks ago, I decided to take the plunge and propose. I went all out. Fancy dinner, roses, the whole 9 yards. She said yes, and I was on cloud 9. Here's where things start to go off the rails. We decided to throw an engagement party to celebrate with our friends and family. We rented out this nice little venue, invited everyone that we knew, and got ready to party. The night started off great. Good food, drinks flowing, everyone was having a blast. I was mingling, talking to friends that I hadn't seen in a while when I noticed that Jenna had been missing for a little too long. At first, I was like, whatever, she's probably chatting with somebody. Then I started to get this weird feeling in my gut. I started looking around for her. I checked the bathroom, the bar, even the dance floor. Nothing. I was getting a little worried, so I decided to step outside to see if she was out there. As soon as I walked out the door, I heard these muffled voices coming from behind one of the bushes by the side of the building. The bush, bitch? Well, bro, I know you're happy. You dodged a bullet with a bitch who was willing to fuck a man in a bush. Bro, like, you dodged a fucking missile. I quietly snuck over, and as I got closer, I heard Jenna's voice followed by a guy's voice. My heart was racing at this point. I peeked around the bush, and there she was, Jenna, making out with some dude that I didn't recognize. I was frozen in place, trying to process what the hell was going on. Then I heard her say, "I've missed you so much. I can't believe we're doing this at my engagement party." I kid you not. My brain short-circuited. Engagement party. Who the hell is this guy? I stand there just watching in shock as they started to get even more affectionate. Bro, say something. Throw a rock at her. Do something. Don't just watch it happen. Here's where it gets even crazier. I step out from behind the bush and I'm like, what the actual fuck, Jenna? She jumps a mile and spins around, looking like she's seen a ghost. Then the guy turns around and it's her ex-boyfriend. The same ex she told me she hadn't spoken to in years. The same ex that she said was totally out of her life. I was standing there watching my fiance make out with her ex-boyfriend at our engagement party. I feel like I'm in a bad soap opera. This dude had the audacity to look at me and go, "Bro, I'm sorry, man. This wasn't supposed to happen." Jenna started crying, trying to apologize, saying that it was just a moment of weakness and that it didn't mean anything. Meanwhile, I was trying to figure out if this was real life or some kind of messed up drama. I just turned around and walked inside, and I left them standing there. I grabbed a drink and I tried to act normal, but inside I was losing it. I didn't want to cause a scene at the party, so I just didn't say anything to anyone. You better than me. Because I would have grabbed the microphone and started freestyling about how this bitch was outside in a bush with her ex-boyfriend. You better than me. The more drinks I had, the more shit I would have talked. Yeah, see, you're a great person. You are. I didn't want to cause a scene at the party, so I just didn't say anything to anyone. But inside, I was just dying to scream. The rest of the night was a blur, and I kept replaying the whole thing in my head, trying to make sense of it. The next morning, she came home. "Jenna, where the fuck you stay at, Jenna? Where you was at? Why didn't you come home last night, Jenna?" All apologetic, begging me to forgive her. She tried to convince me that she was just overwhelmed by the engagement and that seeing her ex brought back old feelings. I couldn't even look at her. So yeah, that's my life right now. I haven't made any decisions yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going through with this wedding. I still can't wrap my head around how this even happened. How do you cheat on someone at your own engagement party? I feel like I'm living in some kind of twisted reality show. There is never an excuse to cheat. When someone cheats on their partner, a choice is made. You made the choice to step... Indy agrees. She said cheating is fucking cheating. She agrees. When you cheat on your partner, you are making the choice to step outside of your relationship and be with somebody. And with those choices come consequences. She fucked around and found out. This man is not going to forgive you for cheating on him at his engagement party. You 100% need to leave her. You 100% need to leave her. Sir, I know your standards are higher than a bitch willing to bust it wide open in a bush. In a bush. Am I the asshole for leaving the hospital after my sister gave birth and announced the name of her baby? I, 32 female, have been dealing with infertility for about 7 years now. My husband and I are prepared for the fact that we might not ever get to have a child together, but it's not easy. We're both currently in individual therapy to help us process all of this and to find a way to be at peace regardless of what the future holds for us. But I truly hope that we're lucky enough to have a child. My husband and I have baby names picked out. We never talk about them, but we have a little note on our baby name book with our boy name and girl name picked out. It's in our bedroom. We don't look at it much anymore, but it keeps us hopeful, you know? My sister, 36 female, has 5 daughters, and 2 weeks ago, she gave birth to her first son. My husband was working, but I was at the hospital with my parents and my sister's in-laws waiting for the birth. Once he was born, we were called in to meet my nephew, and my sister told us they chose the name Elio for him. She said the name was originally mine and my husband's top choice, but since we wouldn't be having any kids after all this time, she decided they should use it and not let the name go to waste, being kept secret by me. Are you fucking kidding me? This was their top choice, but since they can't have kids, I decided why let the name go to waste and be kept secret, so we're going to use it. Your sister is terrible. It was then I remember seeing my sister in my room while she was pregnant a few months before. I thought nothing of it at the time, but realized she had been snooping. My parents asked how she could do that without talking to me first. My sister replied that it seemed a shame to waste a perfectly good name if I asked her not to use it. I couldn't handle it and I left. I didn't even say congratulations or anything. I left and went home and cried for a while. I am so sorry. Your sister is horrible. Your sister is fucking terrible. She doesn't even feel bad that she literally stole your name. She looked for it and then stole it and then threw it in your face. Well, since you're not having kids, I figured why let this name go to waste, so I'm gonna fucking use it. Your sister is fucking terrible. The very next day, my sister called me and asked me why I made such a big deal. She also decided to drop that she was hurt I never discussed my baby names with her. Bitch, this is why. Because motherfuckers like you like to steal shit from people just to use the excuse, well, you can't own a name. This is why nobody shares their names, because you unfucking creative motherfuckers will steal something from somebody. Something that they've taken the time to look and research for and pick out because they love it. You will take it simply because you don't have a creative bone in your fucking body. This is why we don't goddamn share with you. She asked why I would gatekeep them, even when I knew I wouldn't have a baby. I asked her how she could go out of her way to take the one name that my husband and I had picked. She called me sensitive. I ended the call without another word. You're goddamn fucking right I am sensitive. You are fucking right. I am sensitive. My sister went out of her way to snoop through my bedroom to find something to purposely hurt me with. Yes, I am sensitive. My fucking heart is broken. Yes, sensitive is not even the goddamn fucking word. Are you serious right now? Are you fucking kidding me? You went out of your way to go through my room to look for my baby names, and now you're trying to flip it and gaslight me for being upset about it. Well, why didn't you share with me? Bitch, this why? This is fucking why. Why would you gatekeep the names? Bitch, it's not gatekeeping. I am entitled to pick the name that I want. Just like you waited until birth to tell us what the fuck you were naming your child, I have the same right. Your sister's fucking garbage. I would never speak to her again. My parents checked in on me 2 days after that. But since then, my parents have said that I should let it go and apologize for walking out. My sister also said that I made her postpartum time and it was very selfish on my part. Am I the asshole? Your fucking parents are delusional. They are fucking delusional. I will never apologize to this bitch. She's lucky the only thing I did was fucking walk out, because ho, you were already in the goddamn hospital. The perfect place for me to turn you every fucking which way but goddamn loose. The fucking perfect place. I would never speak to my sister again. And if my parents kept pushing for me to apologize to her and let it go, I'd never speak to them again either. Because no, there's no fucking way in hell you guys are going to ignore the comments. The fucking comments. Well, there's no purpose in letting a good name go to waste. You think a name is going to waste because my husband and I are hoping and praying to still manage to have a child together? Are you fucking kidding me? And you expect me to apologize to someone who said something like that to me? Yeah, I'd cut my parents off quick if they didn't understand, if they refused to understand. Now listen, I know A lot of y'all aren't even gonna pay attention. Y'all gonna run to the comment section. This is why we don't tell anybody names. She didn't tell nobody shit. She didn't tell nobody a goddamn fucking thing. They had the names written down, kept in a book in their bedroom. In their bedroom. No, OP does not own the name, but she has every fucking right to be upset that someone went out of their way to search through her private area to steal their fucking name. She's got every goddamn right to be upset. OP, you are not the asshole. I am so sorry. This is terrible. This is terrible, especially for it to come from your sister. This is shit that we see from sister-in-laws, from jealous cousins. Your fucking sister literally stole your fucking name. She had to search for it. She stole it. She fucking stole it. That's it and that's all. My husband's best friend is demanding a public apology from me. Myself, 26 female, and my husband, 28 male, have been together for 11 years, married for 2. When we got married, I had just started a new job and I didn't have enough leave acquired to go on our honeymoon, so we never got the chance. This November, we're going to Japan for 2.5 weeks. It's been planned around our wedding anniversary, November 13th. It's also my very first international trip. Oh shit, how exciting. I'm stupid excited for you guys. My husband's best friend, 29 male, has been in a relationship with 26 female for the past few years. He's very ambitious and has worked himself to the bone to get where he is, so he deserves a break. A few months back, my husband and I went to a travel agency to get a rough idea on how much everything would cost us. We then booked everything ourselves for much cheaper within that same week. My husband's best friend got wind of the trip and self-invited he and his girlfriend to come along with us. They copied our dates, when we fly in, our movements to each city, and when we're flying back home. Wait a minute, even though this is 2 years after you got married, this is still your honeymoon. This is still your honeymoon. I wouldn't want anybody wanting to come along when I finally get to go on my honeymoon, and it's also my very first international trip. I would not want my husband's best friend and his girlfriend tagging along the entire 2.5 weeks that we're gone. No, you're not the asshole. You're not the asshole. I know you're not asking if you're the asshole, but whatever you did that he wants you to apologize for, you're not. You're not the asshole. I brought it up to my husband multiple times that I didn't want his best friend coming on the trip, let alone on the exact same dates. He didn't see the issue. What the fuck you mean you don't see the issue? I don't want your boyfriend coming with us. That's the issue. I compromised and I asked him to get his best friend to come a week later. My husband's best friend has known my husband much longer than I have, so I thought that my husband would sort this out. He dismissed it. Oh, hell no. Hell no. If your best friend insists on coming on this trip and you're perfectly fine with it, go to Japan with your best friend. I'm not sharing my honeymoon with your best friend and his girlfriend. So you decide what the fuck you're gonna do. That's how I would have handled the situation. Fast forward about a month. We were having a group dinner. I should also mention that my husband's best friend moved out of state to start his own life and build the career that he has. At this dinner, I was asked about the upcoming trip to Japan. I let everyone know that while I was excited overall, I wasn't happy about my husband's best friend and his girlfriend coming along. There was no shit talking of any kind. It was literally, I'm quite excited for it. Husband's best friend is coming along as well. When the other couple at the dinner, I'll call them K and P, asked how I felt, I said that it was annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it since my husband didn't stop him from inviting himself and booking everything. Girl, there is something you can do about it. Put your fucking foot down. K and P started talking to my husband, trying to convince him to sort it out, as it wasn't fair on me to have another couple come for my first international trip and our honeymoon. That conversation took about 5 minutes. Once it was done, we all went back to having our laughs. Moving forward, I kept biting my tongue, while at the same time hinting to my husband that I really didn't want his best friend coming on this trip. Moving forward another month or so, K and P asked if the issue had been addressed. I responded with no. Then I got into my feelings, and when my husband was about to get off of one of his regular gaming sessions with his best friend, I told him to sort it out before I did. There you go. There you go. Handle it before I handle it, because I'm going to hurt his feelings. That's how you get things solved. Girl, yeah, if you can't trust him to do it, you do it yourself. I could hear my husband's best friend trying to bullshit his way through it, as he always does, so I snapped. I got emotional. I started crying and screaming at my husband's best friend over Skype. Fuck him. How dare he intrude? Why can't he get off my husband's junk? Why didn't he ask me if it was okay to come? He's so disrespectful. Fuck his ego. This led to a fight between my husband and myself. I immediately regretted how I handled it, but I left it all alone for a couple days as I didn't want to come off fake when addressing everything and apologizing. A few days later, I reached out through text and I explained step by step why I felt the way that I did, and I apologized repeatedly for my actions. His response was half making it about him and half, I appreciate the apology, but I need time alone. I told him I respected his decision and that I would leave the line of communication open for him to reach out if he was ever ready to. That was the last point of contact on my end. Now for extra context here. K and P are going through IVF and recently announced that they're pregnant. They're planning their gender reveal for late September, and my husband's best friend will be attending. I've chosen to not reach out since the last time, as I felt I've left the ball in his court. In saying that, I also have a new job to focus on. I came home from work today to my husband telling me that 1, his best friend is coming to the gender reveal, and 2, he's gotten over everything, but he's asking for me to apologize to him in front of the entire event for what I did because he feels humiliated. Absolutely the fuck not. Why am I going to go to an event that is not about me, not about you, and apologize and take the spotlight away from our fucking friends when I, 1, already apologized to you through text message and you are supposedly over everything? Get the fuck out of here. It's not my fault that you feel humiliated. It's not. It's fucking not. I told you if you ever wanted to reach out, you could fucking reach out. But what I'm not going to do is take the spotlight away from my fucking friends at their gender reveal. This has not a goddamn fucking thing to do with them. So I'm not going to do that there. Are you fucking serious? My issues with this are, 1, I didn't talk shit about him when it was brought up at the previous dinner. I talked about my issues with him coming along. 2, he's demanding a public apology from me at his close friend's event. Not a regular event, but their gender reveal, where it is both friends and families attending. That's my biggest fucking issue. If you want another apology, that's fine. I can apologize because I truly feel bad. But you want me to go to your friend's gender reveal and put the spotlight on me so everyone can be angry at me for this shit? Hell no. Absolutely the fuck not. 3, he has not apologized to me for intruding on my honeymoon, yet I apologized repeatedly for the way that I reacted to it. 4, to further point 2, he wants to make his friend's event all about him. That itself does not sit right with me. Me either, girl. Me either. The fact that he's demanding that I apologize to him in front of everyone at this event really rubs me the wrong way, especially since all the boys in the friend group have been friends since high school. Okay, so what I'm going to say is probably something that you already fucking know, but you do not have an issue with your husband's best friend. You have an issue with your husband. Your husband is a poop butt because you cannot tell me that he did not give your entire itinerary to his best friend. Fuck them, his best friend caught wind. He got wind of the trip because your husband told him. He told him where you guys were going to be going, when you were going to be going there, and when you're going to be leaving each and every fucking location, and when you're going to be flying back home. Your problem is your husband. He's spineless. He don't want to tell his fucking friend no. He's so worried about offending his friend, he is willing to put his wife in an uncomfortable position. Absolutely not. Your problem is not the best friend. The best friend is doing what the fuck he's been allowed to do. He was told about the trip, so he decided he was going to go on the trip. His best friend didn't tell him that he couldn't go. He's literally feeding off of what the fuck your husband is allowing him to do. You need to step to your goddamn husband. Also, fuck no, we're not apologizing to this man, not at these people's fucking baby shower. You've already apologized to him, and if he's over it, what the fuck do you want me to apologize for? You're trying to make me the bad guy in a situation to make yourself feel better, thinking people are gonna flock to you for me being a horrible person to you. Girl, no. Don't allow this man to make you embarrass yourself. Do not allow this man to make you embarrass yourself. Do not apologize and take these people's spotlight away from them. Don't do it. Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my brother's wedding after finding out my future sister-in-law is trash talking my disabled son? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not wish a happy union on anyone that wants to trash talk my disabled child. Not at all. So here's the situation. My 32 female, older brother, 35 male, is getting married in a few months. We've always been close, and I was genuinely happy for him when he announced his engagement. His fiancée, Sarah, 30 female, seemed nice enough at first, though we've never really been super close. I have a 6-year-old son, Ethan, who has cerebral palsy. He's the light of my life. While he has his challenges, he's a happy, sweet kid who loves being around his family. My brother has always been great with Ethan, so I assumed that Sarah was on the same page. A few weeks ago, my mom let something slip during a family dinner. Apparently, Sarah has been complaining about Ethan being at the wedding because she's worried he'll steal the spotlight from her. She even said things like, "I don't want people focusing on the kid in the wheelchair instead of me. And it's my day and I don't want any distractions." When I confronted my mom, she admitted that Sarah had been making these comments for a while, but didn't want to cause any drama by telling me, "The fuck? So now that I found out because you fucked up and let it slip, am I just not supposed to be upset?" Like, I would be livid. I was furious, rightfully so. The idea that someone could be so cruel and shallow about my child who already has to deal with so much made my blood boil. I called my brother and I asked him if he knew what Sarah had been saying. He was hesitant at first, but eventually admitted that Sarah had expressed concerns about attention being diverted from her on the big day. He tried to downplay it, saying that she was just stressed out and not thinking clearly, and that, of course, Ethan was welcome to be at the wedding. But here's the thing. I just don't feel welcome anymore. How could I, knowing that the bride-to-be sees my son as some sort of burden? I told my brother that if Sarah really feels that way, then Ethan and I won't be attending. My brother freaked out and said I was being unfair, that Sarah didn't mean any harm, and that I'm blowing things out of proportion. Are you fucking kidding me? You have been allowing this woman to down talk about your nephew. If these were actual fucking concerns about something, his behaviors, something that he does, you could have always come to me and we could have found a way to compromise the situation. But it doesn't even seem like this is the type of problem. No, she just don't want him there because baby is in a fucking wheelchair. I am not blowing things out of proportion. Wait until I blow the fuck up and then tell me that I'm blowing things out of proportion. I'm not going to give you an opportunity to mistreat my child. I'm not. My brother begged me to reconsider, saying that if I don't go, it'll cause a huge rift in the family. Now my parents are involved, saying they understand while I'm upset, but think I should just let it go for the sake of family unity. Where the fuck was family unity when nobody was telling Sarah to shut her goddamn mouth while she was talking about a disabled child? Where was the family unity then? Because family decided to unite against me and agree to not tell me that somebody was talking about my son. Fuck a family unity. There is no family unity here. So it's family unity when it comes to your brother. But when it comes to his bitch talking about your child, let it go. Let it go. They've suggested that Ethan stay with the babysitter during the ceremony and that we can all go to the reception. But that feels like giving in to Sarah's awful behavior, and I can't stomach the idea of pretending that everything is fine. So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to attend my brother's wedding because of what Sarah said about my son? No, you're not the asshole. You are 100% entitled to choose to stay home if somebody makes it clear they don't want your child at their wedding. That's fine. You don't want him there. I'm not going to be there without him. I'm going to stay home. You're not doing anything to jeopardize the peace in your family. You're not causing a rift in your family. Your family is allowing that rift to be created by Sarah by allowing her to down talk your fucking son. I truly don't think this is an issue of him being distractive or they're pulling focus away from her. I truly think this fucks up her perfect vision of her wedding day, so she don't want him there. The comment about the kid in the wheelchair, just that's what that makes me feel like. She wants to have a perfect vision when it comes to her wedding day, and Ethan disturbs that, so she doesn't fucking like it and she doesn't want him there. OP, you're not the asshole for deciding to not go. Like, you're not. An invitation to a wedding is not a demand. It's not a summons. You are not required to go. You're not being drafted into the fucking wedding. You can say no. You are well within your right to say no for any fucking reason, regardless of who's getting married.